The following program is a public service of Gulf Coast State College, WKGC, and Commodore Productions. And now, the Military Hour with Cary Dieter.
Welcome to another edition of Military Hour. We have a returning guest today with really good news that's upcoming. We have Alexandra Murphy from Haney Technical, Public Information Officer, and you've got new programs and registration coming up.
We do.
So give us that info, will you?
Well, it's hard to believe the summer is already over. We start school on August 13th, which is on a Monday. And so I'm just coming in to tell the public a couple things, that we still have some openings in some of our programs. And we're also, dealing with some that are closed. So it's a little bit touch and go at this point, but there's still time. If somebody wants to get registered, they can come by our campus. We're located on the corner of Highway 77 and Baldwin Road. Specifically, we're really registering this week for our adult basic education, which is GED. And that is an area that a lot of people don't really know where they can get help for it. So if you didn't get your high school diploma and you need a GED, because many employers now, that's like a basic requirement,
Sure.
We have classes that can help refresh areas that you maybe have a deficiency in. And that is one of the things that a lot of people don't know that we offer at Haney. Very affordable, maybe I think it's $76 for a class that will last from August until December. And we have the students take a TABE test, so it will evaluate what areas they need to work on, and then we'll concentrate in those specific areas. So you may only need help in one subject and not in the other. It just depends where you were at the time that you tested.
Well, and that, of course, is open to anyone and everyone.
Yes.
That if they haven't gotten their high school diploma, they can come up with $76, $77,
Yeah,
something like
it's
that.
a bargain for what we offer, and it is a self-paced program. So I may be coming in there. I may have had a 5th grade testing. You may have had a 10th grade, and you're further along. But we're still in the same classroom, but we're working independently at a progression based on where we need to be focusing our time. So it's tailored based on each student's needs.
That in itself, being tailored to every person,
Right,
is
because
really a key.
Right. And it's all different ages. We have a gentleman that's 79 that's going to be coming back, that's working on his GED. We have students as young as 16, 17. Ideally, we would never tell anybody that a GED is better than a high school diploma.
Right.
Hands down, a high school diploma is the best thing that you can give yourself. But if something happens and life throws you a curveball,
Sure.
and you didn't get one, there's still that opportunity that you can go back and fix that. It's a doable situation.
And that's fabulous. And it's something that every community needs, not just our community.
Oh, absolutely.
So I hope if you listeners know someone that has, for some reason, left high school 20 years ago or a year ago, you can get them into this program and register it. Are there any caps on the number per?
I would say at this point that they don't need to be concerned with that. They just need to come in, and then we will see how their tests come out to determine what area, because it depends on which class they're going to need. So not every student has to have refreshers in every topic or every subject. So they would just need to come in and talk to us, and then we could tell them that. But it is something that a lot of people just are now realizing how necessary it is to have a GED. And it is intimidating. If you've been out of school for a while,
Sure.
It can be very intimidating, but we have some amazing stories of success. And I think the anxiety that most people have in getting the courage to go back is, 10 times worse than the reality of what it is that they're dealing with. They're like, I just wish I would have done this sooner. But I didn't know I could knock it out this quickly. So, yeah. And then to mention the new program that we're adding this year is Industrial Pipe Fitter. And that is going to actually be starting in October. So that is a program that complements the welding program, and it basically is pipe fitting. So it deals with all different types of materials. It works very closely with the industrial applications, specifically with some of these newer positions that we're going to have from Eastern Shipbuilding with the Coast Guard contract. And it's just another high demand area for training. And you don't have to have experience to sign up for that program or any of our programs. We teach you as if you didn't know anything. Obviously, if you have some experience, you'll probably catch on faster.
Yeah, it'd be a plus.
But it's a great time at Haney. I'm just thrilled that we're being able to offer programs in response to the needs in our marketplace. And another program that will be starting in September is the massage therapy, and also nursing. So those both have deadlines coming up as well, but they start later than August 13th.
So you're beginning a nursing program at Haney also?
We already have it.
I was thinking you had.
Right. It's just a new class will be starting. The
class.
specific deadline for that program is August 20th through the 24th to turn in their packets. Nursing is super high demand right now.
It's critical shortage nationwide.
Exactly. And therefore, the process to get into the nursing program is a little bit more involved. There's some more steps involved, not just with us, with any institution. And so there's a packet that has more that they have to put together than just a general application. So that packet is something that is doable, but it does require you to get all that information together. And so that's great. We're offering we've added another section in nursing. So we expanded our nursing program. I think it's been about 18 months. We built a new building, and so now we're able to offer more spaces, because that was one of the problems. We were having so many people turned away.
Shame on me, I didn't even know you built a new building.
Well, let me rephrase it. We didn't build a new building. We renovated an existing building, but it's sparkly and it's a beautiful building. As far as the technology and everything is just great. It's what we a lot of our programs at Haney are more industrial, so it's fun when you get a building like nursing that can still have beautiful paint. Not that any of that matters for training, but it certainly is aesthetically appealing. So it's a great program, and the placement rates in that program are just like you said. There's a critical shortage nationally for nurses.
That is true, and I'm the proud father of 2 nurses, so
Wow.
love my girls. They're givers, and they love what they do.
It does take a certain kind of person that can do that. So
it wouldn't be me. I'd be
well,
like, can I get rid of them with this needle here?
Oh, but it is, it's a great program. And so we're just excited at Haney. We like to brag that our programs are short. The shortest program will be the industrial pipe fitter program, which can be around 8 months. And the longest program is only 2 years, which is the airframe and power plant mechanics program. So the programs at Haney are a short turnaround, and you are there to specifically learn the skills for the trades that you want to work in. You're not going to have extra general education classes, which are still interesting for some people, but for technical training, you typically want to get the skills related to exactly what it is you're going to be doing, because your goal is to get out and get a job, and that's what we're there for.
So, from what I gathered, what you said, in my little pea-brain mind, we've got the GED classes set up and available for anybody, everybody, about $76.
Well, I wouldn't say
77.
Everybody. There are some age restrictions, but for most people, correct.
Well, I heard you had a 79-year-old son.
Yes, sir.
Maybe
There's not an age
100
limit.
Maybe 100's a little too old.
Right.
But
that's exactly right. That's exactly right.
And then I heard pipe fitter. And as soon as I heard you say you're going to have this pipe fitter program, I'm thinking, oh yeah, right here at the port, because they're bringing in more jobs.
Yeah.
Wow, good program.
So,
get some people working.
That's right. Industrial pipe fitter. And then, like I said, we still have some openings in our auto collision program, marine mechanics. I think we still have some openings in electrical, obviously cosmetology.
I could use some of that.
I can't remember all the programs that we have, but they can Google Haney Technical Center, and at this point, come in and talk to someone, because we are getting to the crunch time with classes starting on the 13th. Although, like I said, massage therapy and practical nursing have a later start, so there are exceptions, but for the most part.
And if you're interested in nursing, you can check them out at Haney as well.
Exactly. So, and some people have no clue what they want to do. And so those students can come in and we can take them on a tour and show them the different areas. Sometimes you don't know what you want to train for if you don't even know it exists.
Right.
So that's another great way.
Now, the GED, going back there, some of the military branches won't
I have
let
heard,
you in.
that's right, I have
just a
heard that
GED.
even the Air Force will not take people unless they have a high school diploma. So speaking again to what I said, if you ever have the option to do the high school diploma, hands down, that is the best option you can give yourself. But again, when life happens and things happen, we have other paths to still get them back on track.
Yep, and when men and women get out of the military, not just retirees, let's say they did a 4 or 6 year commitment, whatever their commitment was.
Absolutely.
They may not know what they want to do. I'm going to mention Tyler, but not your last name, Tyler, but he was one of those, what am I going to do? I need to work, I need a job, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so talk to him about seeing Dennis. I won't use Dennis's last name either. Love you, bro. But Tyler got in that AP program. He is happy.
Well, I'm glad you
enjoying
mentioned that because we have a very large percentage of veterans at our campus.
Yep.
And some of them have these incredible benefits for their tuition that it basically doesn't cost them anything to get the training. But what you mentioned is exactly what happens. Many of them are working in the military, have the training because they received it on site, but when they exit the military, they have to have additional certifications for non-military employers, and aviation is the perfect example. The A&P mechanics, even though that particular young man may have had everything he needed as far as ability, he's not going to be employable with a company that needs an FAA A&P mechanic.
There you go.
So it'll be much faster for him because he's going to have an advantage because he knows so much. But again, that licensure, that certification is something that they need in the military after they get out, because they don't need it in the military, but when they exit, they don't provide that for them.
Right.
So, but yes, we have a great veterans a veterans office that helps our students and exposes them to different services. We have a great partnership just for a lot of different services in our community. Bay County is so veteran friendly anyways.
Absolutely.
But sometimes there are some challenges that people have if they've, had some trauma or some different things. And so there are people that are there to help them and share with them some services that they may not know exist.
And for those that don't know, the Veteran Center is just directly behind
And those
Haney.
That's the
where
agency
Tyndall is also.
That's right. They come over, I believe, at least once a month and talk with our students.
Yeah.
So it's a great resource.
Matt Standish. Hey, Matt.
Yeah. And when we were talking about the funding, sometimes people are scared to go back to school because they think it's so expensive. And obviously the GED is super affordable.
Right.
But even in extreme cases where you can't come up with $75, we have different people that have made donations that we can use for scholarship money to help with some of those expenses. Now, there's certain criteria for eligibility.
Sure.
And it's not ever usually 100%. But if funding is ever a barrier, they need to come and express that, and we can talk to them about their situation, and then maybe there are other resources out there that we can help connect them with that can help them. Because, for example, the massage therapy program is just under $3,000 from beginning to end, and that includes your books if you're an in-state resident. So that's pretty affordable. I mean, I know it's still a lot of money to have to write a check for, but when you compare it to other alternatives for training, it's a very reasonable amount of money to get a licensure that you can use to earn a good living.
And what's really good to know here in our community in Bay County is not only is Haney military friendly, but here, Gulf Coast State College, oh my goodness. Yeah,
Absolutely.
Stellar.
Absolutely.
I mean, both organizations stellar.
Well, and we like to
military.
brag on the fact that we have a great relationship with Gulf Coast, because there are many times where, perfect example is we'll have students in our LPM program that more than half have every intention of coming to an RN program. So the bridge for them to come from Haney to Gulf Coast is just perfect for them. But then there are occasions where some students try to get into Gulf Coast, and it's definitely a very competitive program. So maybe stepping back at a different level of training for the LPM program at Haney is more appropriate for them, and then they can
Makes
go
sense.
back. So sometimes people will come to Gulf Coast and then they will come to us, because maybe whatever training they received isn't something that they're happy to work in that field. And then sometimes they come to us and then they need additional training at Gulf Coast. So we complement each other very well, and that's something that
And again, that's
we're
great.
thrilled to have our partners in Bay County, not even just Gulf Coast, all of our post-secondary education models, because we're all in the business of helping people learn and achieve success. And there's enough for all of us to get a piece.
And Alex is so gracious. She heard me earlier say, which is kind of crass on my part, but there's only two kind of people that won't learn: a fool and a dead person.
That's unfortunately the truth. That's right.
My kids have accused me of being a professional student all my life, but it's like, I guess I just have varied interests, let's say it that way.
And don't let them kid you. They may not call it learning, but if they're on the internet or they're on YouTube, they're all still learning. Technology is advancing. I mean, just to be able to use my phone, I could take a whole training program just in that. So absolutely.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
I understand. Well, Alex, thank you again. I'm glad we were able to put this together for you today to get word out about what's upcoming at Haney.
Absolutely.
It's exciting to me. I hope it's exciting to the listeners and the viewers. And again, if you know somebody that needs even some help monetarily, it might be available there. It also, here at Gulf Coast too, they have a program here.
Well, and the cool thing about the funding is if you apply for Pell Grants and different things, the process is the same wherever you go to an accredited institution. So again, we can help them, whether they come to us or they may come to us and realize we don't have the program that they need, but Gulf Coast does.
Sure.
Whatever process they started with that, it's called the FAFSA. It will bridge over to wherever they go. Yeah. So absolutely. And it is intimidating, I'll tell you. It's like doing an income tax return. But if you get money that they're able to help you with your tuition, it's worth that little hurdle.
Absolutely, it is. And here, of course, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Dr. Susan Ramides with the Thanks a Million program, because there's some funding to help veterans there also.
They just had a hugely successful campaign.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Which again just speaks to how wonderful our community is in supporting our veterans. I mean, they're the reason we have the freedom to go to school and do these opportunities that people can't do in other countries.
And Dr. Ramides and her husband Kevin do a wonderful job with veterans. They really do.
Yeah,
Good people.
We are grateful for people that have a heart to give back, and we appreciate all veterans and anybody in the military that serves our country. So
thank you again.
Thank you.
Always a pleasure.
Great
Always.
to see you, and look forward to having you out again soon.
Okie doke.
Thank you.
Thanks.